knowledgeable, that knowledgeable about homebrew. I am still, after 15 years of doing it, very much a basic home brewer. So anyway, from Beerworks, lovebrewing.com. This is their English barley wine kit. It is £30.95. It produces around about an 8.5% ABV barley wine. I am adding 1 kilo of sugar to all the other contents. I'm also chopping up some ginger. So I'll get the ginger chopped up first. I boiled the kettle. The fermentation bucket's here. It's a 30-litre bucket. So we're only brewing to about 23, 24. So that gives it good space for it to bubble up. And trust me, this bubbles up. So first things first, I've got a pan on. Good evening, good afternoon, Thomas. There's the pan. Oh, balls. Phone malfunction. So yeah, here we go. That's better. I've got a pan on with hot water. So I'm now going to start chopping this ginger up. And basically I've got 2 packs of ginger. And going to chop it up so it bubbles nicely. I'm leaving the ginger in the brew. So even when it goes into the mixture at the end, if you can see that on camera, I'm going to angle that camera slightly down. Yeah. It's like ready, steady homebrew instead. So yeah, there's the ginger, all nicely cut up. Looks like potato really, doesn't it? Lovely smell to it. That's 1 bag. 69p a bag from Aldi. Put the camera up a bit, can't talk down. And yeah, that's the first thing. What I'll show you all the ingredients in a minute. I'm hoping so, matey. I mean, I did do Wood's Head Cracker last year, and or 2 years ago. No, it was 2 years ago. Obviously, adding the root to it. Fussed about that. Fuggles hops. They're to go in at about day 4, day 5. So again, not really fussed about that at the moment. We've also got Golding's hops, and again, that's not going in until day 4, day 5. We've got this to stop all the sediment getting into the when you drain it from from the fermentation bucket into a barrel or whatever. So yeah, stops all the bits going through, supposedly, but not always. And then we've got yeast. So yeah, 2 lots of yeast, beer yeast, British ale yeast, and that's it really. It's a big old kit. £30.95. It is what it is. I am doing more sugar to the kit. I've got a bag of sugar, so it's already about 9%. I'm adding ginger and I'm adding 1 kilo of sugar to take it up to hopefully about 10%, hopefully. And like a twat, I've left my hydrometer in the shed, which means at some stage before I kill the video off, or after I've killed the video off, I'll take in fact I'll do that on the Homebrew update. So I haven't done yeah, I'll take the hydrometer reading. So hey, I thought I had all the ingredients here. So kettle's already boiled. Here's one of the big malt sachets. Not the easiest things, I've got to say, not the easiest things to get the malt out of. As anybody who's homebrewed knows, this, because it's so gunky and thick inside, it's a nightmare. And it goes everywhere. What are the chuffing hands? Right, lovely smell to it, mind you. So, as you can see, it's got a colour to it. Now I'm trying to get as much out of here as I can. You are going to have to put hot water in because you want it. You want every last bit of malt out of this. So yeah, Steve's Brewing's got a live on as well. Bless him. So yeah, I'm gonna fill that with some hot water. I've already boiled the kettle off camera because I didn't want to do it on camera so much, because what happens is it makes such a noise. So luckily, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Don't want to lose the angle too much. There we go. So I'm going to use, it's boiling hot water, so for God's sake, you know, you have to be careful with these things. Just keep moving that hot water up and down. Splosh it around inside. You want the sachet inside to be as crystal clear as possible. It don't help that it's not the easiest thing to cut open. So I'm wary about it spilling all over my side and looking a right twat live on camera. More of a twat than I normally look, at least. So yeah. And it's not easy. I do apologise if anybody's chatted in the background. Obviously. So what I'm doing, if those come in late and think, what the hell is he doing? You've got the, well, basically it's the malt in the sachet, and I'm trying to get every last little bit out, because obviously this is what makes your beer. So pour that in. It's got so much of it out. And as you can see, it's clearing up, but it's not totally clear yet. So I'm wary, because I'm doing the ginger brew as well, that I can't be brewing too much hot water, otherwise I can't put the out. It needs to be lukewarm. You can get a thermometer out, and you know what I would say is, if you're new to the world of home brewing, always read the instructions first. Yeah, barley wine's a type of beer. Yeah. Basically, you see a lot of barrel-aged barley wines, but you also, it's a beer. Yeah. You also see, and welcome everyone. Yeah, it's like Imperial stouts are strong stouts. Well, this is basically just a strong beer, usually 7% upwards. This makes a 9%, and like I say, I'm going for, I'm going with an extra bag of sugar and ginger brew to make it an Imperial, Imperial ginger barley wine, which is wacky. Well, that's the hope anyway, because there's never no guarantees. I wanted just a kilo, just to bump it up a little bit. That's me being me, that is. It would have been about 8 or 9% without the sugar. So with the sugar, I reckon it'd be about 10%. So, but we'll know that when I do the hydrometer reading later. Now, as you can see, all that hard work, I'm adding root ginger. So I've already, from the start of the video, I've chopped up some root ginger, and it's in the pan there. You can just see the pan in that bottom corner gurgling away. And then I'll add that when I add the sugar. So yeah, another 3 kilos of malt. It's not the easiest stuff. You know, if you're first time doing this, it is going to be tricky, because you want to wash it out and get all that malt out. That's the bloody difficult part. Having some sort of jug is probably the best thing. A big jug, or one of them litre jobbies that you have beer in. A stein, is it? I don't know what you call them. So first things first, again, gonna nice taste to it. Pour that thick, you can just see it, can't you? It's as gloopy as they come. I have actually got some more ginger up there, but I think ginger root's enough. I don't want to overdo the ginger. There's ginger, and then there's too much ginger. Like anything with flavours, you can't be too in your face. Yeah, I think it'll work really well with ginger. Yeah, I mean, I was going to do a ginger Imperial Russian Stout. It's Beerworks, their kits are amazing. Once I've done this, because I've got a few minutes to wait, you've got the 2 packets of malt, you've got Golding's hops, which obviously go in about 4 or 5 days, Fuggles hops, 2 packs of yeast, I knew my way around the kitchen as a 10-year-old. I had to cook my own dinners. Our parents. Yes, 40 pints for 30 quid. So price, you know, it's worth paying that a bit more. Priming sugar for the end. Yeah, yeast and that. Right. Now to wash this out. Again, it's a ball ache washing it out, but getting a lovely smell of ginger in here, you know, from the brew at the side of me. Like I say, I did the Imperial Russian Stout kit last year and I was so impressed. It turned out to be the best beer I've ever brewed in my life. And I've brewed a fair old amount of kits. And yeah, absolutely amazing. And at 40 quid, yeah, the price is steep. But you know, sometimes it's worth paying that bit more and getting something of quality. So again, I'm having to rub the hot water up and down to give this a good clean, because that malt is what makes your beer. Without the malt, it was good, wasn't it? Yeah. Whoa. Other barley wine kits, Woodford's do a barley wine, Young's Harvest do a barley wine. So you don't have to spend 30 quid. But with the ingredients in this and the quality that I'm expecting it to be, it's going to be a good one. This really is the ball ache job. This is the job I hate doing. Is there a better way they could have used? I reckon they could have probably put it in something where you could pour hot water, you know, like a cap. Pour the hot water into it, give it a good swill. But hey, you know, yeah. With all that malt, wow. So, as you can see, it's clearing now. I'm going to bottle, mate, yeah, because I'm going to save some for the beer festival in October, he says. So, turn the ginger down now. The ginger is just about done now. You can just see the steam at the back of me. Yeah, cooking nicely. So, just want to get the rest of that up. And I'll quickly go through the instructions in a minute as well, because just for people who are looking at this thinking, yeah. Yeah, bottling over barrel for me. I'm going to barrel juice wines because, yeah, on juice wines, they're not expensive, and 6 quid for a juice wine. I'm having a fucking drink, yeah. 7 o'clock. I'm reviewing, yeah. I'm in the kitchen, so I don't say too much. Walls have ears. So, it's pretty clear now. I don't know if you can see it properly. It's pretty damn clear. I mean, you want to get as much of that malt off as, for any homebrewers out there, you know what it's like. You need to be getting as much of that malty stuff off as possible. Because obviously, this is what makes your beer. just going to give it another rub. Rub a dub dub between them and the tub. Right. It's near enough. So, I need around about half a kettle full of water. Always use about 2.5 kettlefuls of water. I just use plastic bottles. Yeah, it's about half a kettleful of water. I generally, on a 40 pint brew, use 2.5 kettlefuls of water, hot water, and then I'll that's better. See me. So now I'll take you to the brew as it looks at the moment. So yeah, there we go. Quite black in colour. Obviously now that needs all fermenting around. There's the ginger. There we go. That's nicely with the ginger. Like you would when you're cooking something, you want it to be soft. It's not soft at the moment, so I need to turn it back up a bit. The softer the better. Releases the flavours. And you know, I've done ginger. Yeah. I just use recycled pop bottles. We drink pop a lot in this house, so for me, I'm not paying like this sort of thing. So I'm not paying out for bottles, you know, to keep the cost of the home brewing down, really. I'll just wash my hands because that stuff's lethal. Obviously, everything's been washed out, sterilised. Cleanliness is godliness, you know, you can't not be too clean. And funnily enough, I ain't got a clue where where the instructions are. I don't need them, but what I will say is do read your instructions. Must be in the shed. And I've left the hydrometer in the shed as well, so when I go down the shed, I'll put the hydrometer reading in the description so that we can see what it's going to be, you know, roughly. So yeah, you don't really need to be adding the sugar. Anything from 2 weeks to 3 weeks, I reckon, to be ready. But like anything, the longer you mature, the better. Like most of these kits, they're ready to drink pretty much straight away. But yeah, lots of resistance in that at the moment. Wow, lots of resistance. Bearing in mind, there's not a lot of hot water. Yeah, definitely. The longer you leave to mature, the better. You know, homebrew. You want a 30 litre bucket for starters. Don't go for a 25 because you need space for it to breathe. And with these Love Brewing kits, it does bloody breathe as well. So the kettle's nearly boiled. I'm going to chuck the kettle in. Well, not literally, but right, there we go. Half. Don't think it was. Probably a bit over half. I mean, with any of this brewing, when you're brewing, now I'm stirring the malt and the sugar because it's these two kits. There's a lot more resistance than you get on a single kit, and but yeah, it's moving around. When I add the ginger brew, that when it will really be easier. I'm adding ginger at the start. If you was using a ginger flavouring instead of actual ginger, you'd probably add that after fermentation. So after you've transferred this to something else to drain them. See, I use a bucket with no tap. Some people use buckets with taps, but I drain from this into a barrel. So, and then bottle from the barrel. Why? Because it's bloody easier to bottle from a barrel. And then I'd add the sugar on the secondary part. I'd add the sugar to the barrel so that when it goes into the bottles, you're getting that secondary fermentation. So I'm going to brew this and then add it to the brew it, add it to the barrel. I think you probably could use powdered ginger, yeah, if you didn't want to. Yeah. These Love Brewing kits though, they really are strong kits. I think they're the best kits on the market. They're not the cheapest, but they are the best. I mean, the Imperial Russian Stout was just out of this world. And I'm definitely going, whether I'm going to do an Imperial Plum Stout or an Imperial Butterscotch Stout, I'm definitely doing an Imperial. Or a rum and raisin. Now, I might do the rum and raisin, but I get a litre of rum, soak it, boil the raisins up, put the rum with the raisins, let it do the brew, and then put the rum and the raisins in after. Yeah, it's all gone. I'm gutted. It was absolutely lovely. So the ginger now is ready. So there's the ginger. There you go. You can just see it there. Ooh, there. I'm adding this to the pour now. And then stir it again. And now it's just a case of chucking in hot cold water now. Yeah. Take this off here again. Hello everybody. So now I've added the root ginger brew to the pour. So the sugars, the extra sugars in, the 2 bags of malt are in. Good afternoon. Calvers from Lidl. Ah. I've actually got that one as well, funny enough. So yeah, ginger roots added. Just ready for cold water now. So, bless me. I know, I can't wait to review it. And what I'm going to do also, because obviously I know that the festivals are on. So with the festivals being on, I'm going to try and do so many brews. It's going to be a minimum of, before the sugar, I reckon it's probably about 8.5 to 9% before the sugar. With the sugar, you're looking at about a 10%. Is there any sugar in ginger root? That I'm not sure of. He's obviously going to the toilet. We've got two doorways out the back of the house. So yeah, but I'm looking at 10% and above, I would have thought. I will take the hydrometer reading later. It's down the shed. So I need to wash it anyway because it's in the mild at the moment. And the milds brewed lovely. That's gone down from 1082. I think it's down to 1040 in a few days. So it's going nicely. Although earlier it seemed to stop. So I'll give it a bit of a shake around just to liven it up again. Right, cold water now. As before, well, we've all gone through the dishwasher. Like I say, cleanliness is godliness, because you've got to drink this. And if everything's not totally clean, then you could be putting something in and drinking something that's not going to do well for your stomach. And that's just a case of getting it up to 24 litres. Or 23, depending on how I want to go. Yeah, I'm going to put a load of this into little bottles. So I've loaded them bottles from low cost beer. And those 330ml bottles are great because I can fill a load of them up with beers, and then if anybody comes, I can let them have a bottle of that. For the beer festival, that is, in October. Also, going in bottles means also that I can drink one whenever I like and do reviews at the end of every month. Gives you something to do, doesn't it? So the mild, the Imperial mild, that's gonna be jobs are good. All depends how good your water is as well. I missed that comment. 330ml swing tops, right? Yeah. I mean, I've got some swing tops as well, to be fair. I've got 5 swing tops that I bought from IKEA, 500 mils, and I've also got 3 that I got 4 or 5 actually. 4 from Magpie Brewing and 1 from Blue Monkey. So to 22 litres now, so we'll go to 24. I don't want to go above 24 is enough, that's good. So yeah, just a fraction under 24. So, like I say, I haven't got the hydrometer, I haven't got it on there, which is a pain. So as you can see, oh, I'll do the yeast first. So obviously, the hops get added about the 4th or 5th day. And that's when the aroma really hits home. Priming sugar is obviously the last thing you do before it goes into a bottle or a barrel even. You know, if you add it to you can either add it straight to the barrel, put a lid on, job's good. But for today, the yeast. So, 2 bags of yeast, quite a lot of yeast really. British beer yeast. There's what it looks like. Just looks like yeast. Yeah, no real smell to it. The Love Brewing Russian Stout kit, that had oak chips as well. I mean, if you wanted to, you can play around with these kits and put oak chips and, you know, you can make them oaky. There's so much you can do with kits. And I'll be transferring this down to the shed. I'm gonna, when I sign the video off, when I go unlive in a minute, I'll actually take funny, but they weren't totally. They must have been a little bit moist in the packet. So I'm not going to stir it because it's going down the shed anyway. So I'll take you off for the last Lukey Dink. Bears, I hope I'm live again. So that's it for this brew. Put the lid on now. Make sure there's some water in this. There we go. And that's it. And hopefully I'll be giving daily updates on the homebrew. And we'll see how it goes. You know, I've still got obviously some bits and bobs to find. I need to find the instructions as well, just to make sure I've done it right. But obviously that part's standard. It's when you add the hops that's the main thing. At what day. Add it early. You could add it later to get a more hoppier barley wine, I suppose. And that's it. Thank you all for watching and commenting, liking and subscribing. And updates are coming. Cheers everyone. See you in a bit.